Nice. All right, so this is very, very quick. I'm just gonna do a tiny demo of what I've set up here locally today. I was typically using VI for most or nearly all of my development, but recently I've been more and more tempted to look at Sublime Text. I've been looking at Sublime Text like once in a while every time I was upset with something in VI and I couldn't get a solution. So just quickly have a look at this. So this is Sublime Text, free, unregistered as you can see, but it's still okay to use for a while. With a couple of extensions, and those extensions actually make the whole difference. So as you can see, this is all Python code, and I'm crazy and about like mistakes, a equals space, things like that to show up.
Just a quick note, Google is muting you while you type, so whenever it pops the thingy saying that you're muted, just tell it not to mute you, because otherwise the narration is lost.
That's a good point. So, as you can see, what this is doing right now is giving me a live highlight of all the flake errors. And here you can see like multiple spaces after operator. But basically, you don't even have to see that there's some complete list. But you don't really have to look at that because it's pretty obvious most of the time what's going on. And this is great. Like for instance, this is the configuration file for Sphinx, which is super annoying because it's just full of PEP8 inconsistency. So I'm not even going to bother looking at it. But nice, there's something in the gutter. But you can actually see stuff without even, and you can actually see them in the gutter. The yellow dots, see them here in the minimap. So I found it to be very useful. That's number one. Number two is this plus here. And this is coming from an extension called Git Gutter. And essentially, when you are in a Git tree and you make some changes, it's going to tell you that you made some changes. Sometimes you accidentally want to do it. All right. So here it's telling me that I made a change. It's like this line has been changed. Why is it doing that? Because I was going to plus icon. So anyway, maybe here is a better way of doing that. So it's not a change, just a new thing you've added, and you can easily see that. And I'm using this to just like when I'm browsing through my files, I see, hey, I made a change here. Maybe this is not exactly something I want to keep, and it's just easy to do that this way. So comparing that to my VI setup, just really quickly. I need to pull it out here. It's kind of similar. I try to keep these things similar just because it's easier to switch this way around. Let's just do this. And I know, I was looking at conf UI. As you can see, it's kind of similar. The color scheme is the same. And I have some shortcuts that give me the same features I rely on, which is here. Like I'm annoyed by finish coding on something, but I found that the fact that you have to consciously click something or run some shortcut to do it is weaker than just having it here live. I haven't found any live extensions that would do the same thing as you're coding. And despite that Sublime Text is proprietary and really not very cheap, it's got a lot of advantages. First of all, it's written in Python mostly, so all of these extensions are written in Python, and you can really hack them and do them, like make them do what you really want to, which I haven't really tried yet, but it's something you can do. I actually had a look at some of these extensions. I'm really happy about what they can do and how they work. For instance, Sublime Linter is full of settings that you can easily tweak around, and as Sublime Text itself, which is kind of like an ad for Sublime Text, comes with this fantastic console-y pop-up thingy that you can trigger with Control-Shift-P, and you can then just basically issue any command within Sublime Text. It's kind of like Unity's HUD, which you can't see because I'm not screen sharing the whole desktop now. All right, I'm not even going to bother trying to do that. So let's just get back to Sublime Text quickly. But I think it's also weaker in some cases and better in some cases. So for instance, it's not the same as the menu for the application. So if I go to, you probably can't see that now, but if I go to the menu, I see some items that are not in this thing here. But despite the fact that there's this disconnection, I found this to be very quick and very speedy. So I can disable. I can just do that. What I did is actually here. Oh, not here, not here. Sorry, not in this file. There's a Sublime Linter settings for the user, and it's actually just switching this as I did this. So enable linting, and it's now enabled. So it's all powered by those configuration files, but it's all very intuitive. You can use the menu, you can use this accelerated, use this pop-up thingy, which is full of commands you can search, and you can edit those files, and it's all the same. The other thing I really like about this is that you can jump around, and there's this use. I don't really use it that much because it takes a lot of space, and what I found very useful is I can, instead of Control-Shift-P, which gives you this pop-up, I can do Control-P, which gives you this pop-up, and it's just basically, jump around to anything. So let's look at what can we look at something I don't have open. I don't know, like unit. What kind of unit do we have? A bunch of units, a bit too much. So what else can we look at that's actually shorter? And I don't know, exporters. So I have all these exporters. I can just open them and jump into any of these and do stuff. And within a file, you can also do something which I'm not really doing. I can't even probably remember how to do it correctly. Add something? Nope. So there's this last thing which I saw people do, but I'm not really comfortable doing it, where you can actually do searches within the file. But I guess that's working better for C++ projects or C projects that have lots of things. I just know where stuff is in this code. But anyway, quick demo of these things. And just briefly before we finish, I'm not really sure how to do it without screen sharing the whole desktop, which is annoying because it also shares the other half of my desktop. I'm using 4 extensions: Sublime Linter, package control, uninstall or something, list packages, install package, enable, disable package. So no, not like that. Oh, I can't remember how to do it. Remove package. All right. So so silly. Just a way to show a list of packages. So Git Gutter for the plus and change icons. Python improve, not really relevant here, but I'm using it because it understands Python3 syntax a little bit better. Specifically things like function annotations and more esoteric features like that. QML, not related, but nice for QML. And these two to get the linting features. So Sublime Linter is like the framework for linting, and Flake8 is just a plugin for Python. But there are lots of plugins for different things you may want to lint in some way. So that's all. Thanks, and see you soon.
Cool.